What's up, cousins? Anthony Jones here with Brigade Boats, and in this video I'm going to show you how I install a locking T-handled flush-mounted latch in an aluminum lid with EVA foam in a boat build. Stick around, I'll show you how it's done. Hey guys, 6 Sense Fishing has taken things to the next level with their all neoprene rod sleeves. Keep your rods protected and untangled with 6 Sense Fishing rod sleeves, made of neoprene material which is hook resistant and snagless, meaning no more tangled rods from lure hooks. They have an adjustable clasp, keeping the sleeve tight and secure by looping over the reel handle. Get yours at 6sensefishing.com, and don't forget to use the code BRIGADE at checkout for 10% off your order. Thanks for the support, and on to the video. Alrighty guys, this is the boat that we are going to be installing a latch on today. As you can see, I'm entering the tail end of the build on this project. This is a low 170, aka a stinger. I've already installed all of the T-handled latches on the hatch lids, but I left one off so I can do a step-by-step demo install for you guys in this video today. I wanted to do this video because recently I've been getting a lot of questions about latches. And I have a latch video on my channel, but it's a few years old and it doesn't apply to how I do latches today in 2022 with the parts and materials that I'm using nowadays. Now, there's a lot of guys out there, and you may be one of them, that's thinking of doing an all aluminum build or is in the process of doing an all aluminum build. And this video is for you if you're concerned about latches. In this install video, I'm going to show you how I install these latches on Tiny Boat Nation Outdoors aluminum lids. Now, these lids have a specific anti-flood track, so when I make my adjustments on my latches, I'm going to show you how to do it to their track and their lid. Also, as you can see, this beast is decked out with EVA foam, but this EVA foam is Hydroturf. So I'm going to show you how I inset the latch into some Hydroturf EVA foam. Before we do the install process, let's take a look at the actual latch we're using, the tools required for the install, and then let me show you a lid that already has one in it and how it operates. All right, here is the latch that we're using. It's manufactured by Whitecap. It is a locking T-handle, and as you can see, it's chrome-plated zinc with black nylon. They make a variety of these in different materials and different sizes. All of these are available on tinyboatnation.net. Shameless plug here. Use code BRIGADE at checkout. Save 5% off your order at tinyboatnation.net. Outside diameter, 3 inches. Cutout, 2.5 inches. Very important, guys. And I'll go over that in a second for the cutout for this. Now, all of my holes were pre-cut and I turfed over them. Keep that in mind. That is the latch. Now, these are locking, so this is keyed. All right, comes with everything you need in the box. All right, let's go over the tools needed to do the install. Again, already drilled my hole. My hole is underneath this turf. All right, it's already there. But you're going to need a hole saw. I get mine on Amazon. It's a 2.5 inch hole saw. As you can see, it's JDM, cousins. Came to me from far, far east. I like a little, this is my finesse razor is what I call it. You could cut really well with one of these, and you just break the blade off when it gets dull on the end. And to do that, I use these. I just snap that blade off on the end. All right, instead of trying to press it and pop it and break it. You're going to need these to get underneath to tighten the back cap on the latch to actually attach it to the lid. Big old pliers. And this drill is a newer drill I've recently picked up. You could use any drill or you could use it by hand, but you're going to need to do a very small Allen head. And how do these operate? Very, very simple. This one is unlocked. You lift up, there's your key. If you turn this completely around 180 degrees, it locks it. But because it's unlocked, you can turn this, all right, and then just lift up. And as you can see on the underside, there's your handle mechanism. And this right there is what locks underneath this track. All right, so when this goes down, it simply locks underneath the track. And again, I want to reiterate, the adjustment that I've made on these latches are specific to Tiny Boat Nation's anti-flood track. If you're doing something in a different boat or retrofitting a boat or getting lids from a different supplier, you may just have to make adjustments on that latch on the back side. All right, guys, so again, I drill all my holes before I turf. So let's go ahead and cut out where the hole is with this knife, and then I'll kind of explain to you how I get my hole measurement for those that want to know where to actually drill the hole. Again, for these lids with this track from Tiny Boat Nation Outdoors, you need to drill your hole at 2 3/4 to the center. As you can see, 2 3/4 to the center. So what I typically do on a raw lid is eyeball middle, 2 3/4, make a black mark, and then find center, and then connect the dots, tee it, drill my hole, do a pilot hole, and then hit it again with ye old hole saw. All right, just drill that out, and then you're good to go. Quick tip, if this is bent, your hole saw is going to wobble, and then your hole is going to be bigger than 2.5 inches, and then when you put your latch in, it's going to rattle side to side. So make sure your drill bit in your hole saw is nice and straight. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and unbox this latch. Here's your key. And then there's the hardware. Very, very simple. First thing I do is take the cap off. Check this. All right. There's going to be a flat side and there's going to be a lip side. The lip side needs to go up. All right. Some of them I open, they have it reversed in the packaging because this needs to sit inside of that lip. I hope you can see that. The most important part with this is cutting this foam and just getting it right. So I like to take it really slow. I like to get this where I want it and hold pressure. All right, my blade is out 3 breaks from the end. It's about just under, probably about 3/4 of an inch. And then you want to keep your knife, if you turn it, it's going to cut that turf at an angle. You want to try to keep it as straight up and down as you can and apply pressure to this gasket and very, very slowly work your way around. Just take it very easy. Nice and slow. I'm right-handed, so bear with me. Let me make some adjustments, cousins. It does not take much to totally jack this turf up. If you get wild with it, if you like to color outside the lines, not good, man. So that's kind of where we're at. I like to cut inside the black line and try to get this up. Now, you probably want to try to get this sooner than later. That way your turf doesn't stick down to your lids and you're not fighting the same thing I'm fighting right here. There we go. There it is. That's how it's supposed to come off. There it is, all cleaned up, ready for the latch to be installed. What I like to do is take the gasket off the latch, and I like to fit this gasket first. Because what I've come to find out is, if your hole is too tight and you got off a little bit, when you try to put this in with a gasket, it wants to bind. So I just make sure that's a nice fit, and that's perfect. Next up, we're going to go ahead and install the latch. So the gasket's in, lift up the lid. All right, tee towards me. And get it in there nice and tight. Then on the back side, go ahead and take this. I like to screw it on hand tight. I like to tighten this and get it exactly where I want it, as tight as I can get it, before I put this on. All right, reason being, when you put this on, it's hard to get pliers over. So we're going to go ahead and put this, and when I say tight as I can get it, we're not going balls to the wall, guys. We're just going to give it a good spin, torque it down a little bit, and that's it. So the next step is, at this point, I like to go ahead and use our key and go ahead and unlock the latch. All right, latch is unlocked. And now what I like to do, and again, this is how I do it. You need to, where it says Whitecap, you need to go ahead and turn it upside down. That screw and that washer need to be facing you. And you're going to see why, because we're going to take this out. And we're going to mount this on here, and this screw head needs to be facing up. If this isn't turned, you'll end up mounting it backwards. With these latches, let me explain. that they're made to be universal. So you could take this and mount it this way. You can mount it this way. You could do a lot of different things with them. You could flip this how you need to. I'm just showing you how to do it on these lids specifically. Keep that in mind. So with this needs to go up. And I like to be maybe 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch off of this. There's blue thread lock on these, and it's a small Allen. And I'm just going to take this and just tighten it down ever so gently. Don't use an impact. If you lift this up and pull on it and you have no wiggle on your lid, and you could just barely hear it on there. Can you hear that? That latch is just barely rubbing the underside of this track, which tells me it's getting a really nice tight fit. You can see how far off the direction, how much thread at the bottom is showing, and how that was done. And that's it. Let's lock her up. Show you how that works. Key in, turn the key. It is now locked. You cannot turn this. All your goodies are locked. This customer chose to use locking latches on all of the hatches in this boat, including the mega hatch. Check this thing out, cousins. This thing is a monster. Look at that. I'm gonna cram some 48-volt lithium battery packs back here is what we're gonna do. Again, got a majority of everything in this boat from tinyboatnation.net, including these specific lids and these latches. All right, that's it, guys. Thanks for sticking with me on this one. Hopefully you're able to take something away from this video on the old T-handle flush latch installation. Man, this boat is just phenomenal, guys. I always say, you know, subscribe to the channel. We're just getting this party started, but I mean, look at this thing, dude. I am super, super proud of this one, and it's not going to stop. I've got more coming. I've got crazier ideas. We've got bigger budgets, and we really are just getting this party started. So stick around for future content, guys. Tin Can Crew, Tiny Boat Nation, Brigade Boats in the house.